Guess what time of year it is? Time for a new Precure logo. So hey, hi, hello everybody, my name's Chisei, which you probably know if you've been around on this channel for any amount of time, or my social media. But it's my channel where I post things according to no schedule at all, but today I wanted to put out a video talking about the new Precure logo that we just got on Thursday, and talk about some of my theories, things I want to see from it, analyze the logo for details, the usual stuff us Precure fans do at this time of year. It's like its own national holiday at this point. Now, this video is coming out a little bit later than I planned because, the logo dropped on Thursday. I spent like the afternoon analyzing it, then wanted to get the video out on Friday. But as most of you probably know, Thursday was Thanksgiving, and my family traveled to visit my aunt, and so I wasn't at home, didn't have my normal microphone. I'm like, oh, who cares? I'll just record the audio on my phone. It'll be scuffed, but I'll do it anyways. And I did end up recording the audio. I still technically have the files. I'm gonna delete them soon. But I recorded it on my phone microphone in the closet of the room I chose at our Airbnb. Just recorded it in there and was gonna edit it, just be like, oh, it's scuffed, I'm sorry, deal with it. And then we were busy on Friday. And then, driving in a car, you're supremely tired and nobody wants to, I just didn't have the oomph to edit the video in the car on Saturday or today. So here I am, recording it late with my proper setup, because it'll sound better anyways. But that's a long-winded explanation of why I don't have this out sooner, but I don't know. We're doing it now. You guys get this soon. And of course, the obligatory notes. My chair's squeaky as fuck, so if you hear it in the background, I do apologize. And obviously, this is unscripted because scripting this would take too long. But I do have notes to read off of, obligatory preamble. Let's get into the actual discussion. Alright, so if you all will allow me to brag just a little bit, I wanted to quickly touch on some things I got right and wonderful that I was very happy about. So, first things first, I got the fact right that there was 4 cures, though, that was pretty obvious from the beginning. We are going to have pink, purple, blue, and green. That was pretty obvious from the logo. But I think what I was more proud of in that regard was the timing of when we got them. We got Wonderful and Friendly very early on, episodes 1 and 2, and then we ended up getting, or I said last year in my video that we might get the third cure around episode 10-ish, and then the fourth cure around episode 20-ish, kind of like we had in Happy's Charge. And then that's sort of what happened. We got Nyami in 11, Lillian in 19. So that's like around the same time period, and I'm like, wow, I got that right. Look at me go. And whether or not that makes Nyami and Lillian mid-season cures or whatever the heck, that's up to you, but I don't know. I got the timing right. I was proud about that. And it was kind of obvious from the beginning that we'd have the dog and cat theme, but I was also kind of, pleased with myself that I got the rabbit theme correct, though I guess it's not like a cure theme, because Satoru and Daifuku, they didn't become cures. I wish they did outside of the movie, but whatever. They're still important characters, so I'm counting it. And the thing I was most happy about was that we got Chihaya Yoshitake to sing the opening. I said last year that she was the one I wanted to sing it the most, and then we got it. I was so happy, man, and she did such a wonderful job, no pun intended. But, I was so happy about that. But, those are my bragging rights, so let's move on to the actual discussion of the new logo. So, of course, first things first, here is the new logo for the 2025 Precure series. It is called You and Idol Precure. Kimi to Idoru Precure. I keep singing in my head, singing this to the tune of the Healing Good opening, just because it goes, in the Healing Good opening, it goes, Kimi to Healing Good Precure, and I keep singing it because it kind of fits. Kimi to Idol Precure. That's completely irrelevant, but Kimi to Idoru Precure, You and Idol Precure, here is our 2025 new Precure series. So let's start with, of course, the most obvious things that people usually talk about: how many cures we will get and what their colors will be. So, I did see one person who thinks we could get a duo of specifically pink and red because those two colors are most prevalent in the logo. All the lettering is red, there's just a lot of pink in the details. Personally, I don't think that's really likely just because when you look at also the backgrounds on both the Toei and Asahi websites, there's more colors there. I I don't think we're getting just a duo, especially after 2 seasons in a row that had a big focus on duos. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it is possible. It's all anything's possible. What I think is most likely, based on what we've seen so far, is that we are going to get 4 cures. And I think this color scheme will be pink, blue, purple, and red. And I'm mostly getting that from the most obvious hints I'm getting that from are again those Toei and Asahi website backgrounds, as you know, I'm flashing them on screen. You can see in both that there is a bunch of hearts that could be symbolizing like the idol stick light things that people have at concerts. I know nothing about Japanese idol culture, so this is gonna make me. I'm probably gonna sound very ignorant throughout this video, so I apologize in advance. But I think the hearts and these backgrounds is supposed to represent the like light stick things people get at concerts and like idol shows. But those are all pink, blue, and purple. And then also the stage lights in both are pink, blue, and purple. And then even in the Toei one specifically, there was a section towards the bottom that I think is meant to look like the edge of a balcony on like the upper level of a seating area in a stadium or concert hall. I think that's what it's supposed to look like. But on that, you can see there's a pink heart, a blue diamond, and a purple teardrop. And then when you look back at the logo, you can see pink heart, blue diamond, and a purple teardrop. So I think we're going to get a starting trio of pink, blue, and purple, just because those are the colors we have most prevalent right now. And then we'll get the red cure later on as like the additional cure, whether that ends up being the mid season or the late season or the whenever. The additional cure will be red. And that's coming just from the fact that pretty much all of the lettering in the logo is red. Um, yeah, that's what I think is going to be happening. Though there has been some discussion leading up to the logo's release and sort of after, based on some leaks and rumors, that it is likely we could get the red lead cure. And while I would love that, because we haven't had a red cure since Cure Flamingo and Tropical Rouge, which was 2021. So having the first red cure in like 4 years, and them also being a leader would be awesome, and I would be thrilled. I just it's weird because with the backgrounds and like the prevalence of the pink, blue, and purple, I don't know if I believe that rumor at all. Though I guess it is important to keep in mind that previous website, like initial website backgrounds, have not always gotten the color scheme right. Like if you look back at Hirogaru Sky, I think it was the Toei website, or I don't know which. One of the websites had like a sky color gradient of pink, blue, and yellow, which is like the stereotypical standard color scheme. And then we got a pink and a blue, but we didn't get a yellow. And we got one of the most unique color schemes we've had in years. And so that website background didn't translate to what we got. And the same thing kind of went for Delicious Party, where like the backgrounds were kind of weird for that year, but they didn't match up with the color schemes either for what we got. That also ended up just being pink, blue, and yellow. So just keeping that in mind, I guess it is there. We have to say there's plausible deniability that there will be a pink, blue, and purple starting trio. I just think it's I don't know. I just think it's more likely just based on that right now. But again, keep in mind, it's not a surefire way to say, yes, this is what we're getting. Now, as for some other possibilities that I did see some discussion of on Twitter and Blue Sky and whatnot, there are some people discussing that we could be getting 5 cures, which would be pink, blue, purple, red, and yellow. The first 4 colors we've discussed where those are coming from. People are getting the yellow from the Kimito part of the logo, as that like heart area is yellow. And then if you look at the small yellow heart on the Ru of Aidoru, that little heart is yellow. And then if you look at the Toei background, there seems to be a streak of yellow kind of off to the right side. So maybe we could be getting a yellow cure. But again, I don't think that's hugely likely. Another possibility is that we get pink, blue, purple, black, and white. And the black and white, that part's coming from these two little hearts we have in the A of Purikua. Uh, though I don't. We'll discuss it later. I just don't think those two hearts are hinting towards anything. But some people are thinking that could be part of the color scheme. And another possibility that I also think is very unlikely, but I have seen some discussion towards, is a group of 7 cures. Again, just being pink, blue, purple, red, yellow, black, and white. Um, I don't, beyond the fact that I don't think that color scheme is very likely, I don't think having 7 cures total is likely, because Toei has never done a team of more than 6 cures, and they haven't done that since, oh god, Kira Kira was 2017, and then before that it was Yes 5 Go Go, which was 2008. Those are the only 2 teams that have had 6 cures. They've never done more than that, and they don't do it often. So I highly doubt we would get a team of 7 cures based on just the number 7 alone, not even the colors. So, again, always possible, I guess. I just think it's highly unlikely. Um, but yeah, those are the main possibilities I've seen discussed. It is, and another thing to keep in mind, kind of on the similar vein to the background colors not always accurately predicting. I think it's also important to keep in mind that like the logo colors, like specifically in the text that would read like Kimito Aidoru Purikyo, Hirogaru Sky Purikyo, like the text itself, whatever color the text isn't always a surefire way to say what colors we're getting either, because I mentioned that I think the red cure could be, the hint towards the red cure could be coming from the fact that the text is red, but if you look back at Hirogaru Sky, for example, the text was pink, blue, and yellow, and then we didn't get a yellow cure. Granted, we, again, did get the pink and blue, but we didn't get the yellow cure, and the color hint actually came from that, like, little rainbow underneath the Hirogaru Sky part of the logo, which we had the blue, white, purple, orange, and pink stripes. So that wasn't the text itself. So, granted, again, the rumors kind of make it likely that we will be getting a red cure. Just don't take that as a fact based on the text being red. Just wanted to put that out there. So yeah, just to summarize my thoughts, again, I think it's most likely we're going to be getting a group of 4 cures this year: pink, blue, purple, and red. And actually, I think I forgot to mention, the ribbon that you kind of see in the logo has that gradient of pink, blue, and purple, so another hint towards that. But yeah, that's what I think the group is going to be for Kimito Aidoru Purikyo. Now, moving on to the next section, this will be sort of talking about the themes that I think the series will be about, as well as some theories I and others have, and other just random things I've noticed. So to start off with the themes, this one is pretty obvious. It's going to be idols and music. You can tell that from the couple of music notes we see, and then the fact that like idols are, well, music performing artists type. It's pretty obvious this year. And I guess for more hints, you can see stage lights in the backgrounds of both the Toei and Asahi websites. I don't know what to say really. It's just kind of obvious to me that it's gonna be music themed and, idol themed, since the word idol's in the title. That rhymed. Anyways, yeah, pretty obvious theme this year. And I'm wondering if it'll have like a different music focus than Sweet Pretty Cure did, because granted, I haven't watched Sweet Pretty Cure, so I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but from what I have seen, it seems to have just more of like a general music focus, like using some of the terminology such as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, stuff like that. So I wonder if it'll just have more of like or Kimito Idol will have just more of maybe a performance focus, like the performance side of music, maybe. Something I saw Leo from Magical Cinnamon bring up, maybe the cures could be idols in their civilian lives, and then they also are the cures. maybe that's a thing. He also mentioned, based on those two hearts, the black and white hearts, that it could be hinting towards a potential motive towards like the transformation device or maybe the weapon that they end up getting. Maybe it'll be a tiny little piano that they play, because he also doesn't seem to think that it'll be hinting towards the color scheme. But again, I don't think either. I think it's more hinting towards a motif or theme in the outfits or their weapon, or hell, maybe we get a cameo for Cure Black and White. That would be awesome. And then also, I think it's going to be kind of obvious that we will be having some plaid, or I guess it's called gingham. Again, I don't know anything about idol culture. I don't know if gingham is plaid in Japanese or whatnot. I'm just gonna be saying plaid because that's what I know it as. But you can see in that aforementioned ribbon part of the logo that there's like a very obvious plaid design. And then traditionally, I've seen, from what little I've seen of like idol outfits, plaid is pretty frequently used in those outfit designs. So all the cures will probably have some amount of plaid in their design somewhere. Um, One random thing me and some others have noticed that this is the third year in a row there's been a little pun or play on words in the logo. The first one so far being Hirogaru Sky, which the play on words there is, if you stretch out Hirogaru, you can make it sound like Hirogaru, which would translate to hero girl. And that was brought up multiple times throughout the series because there was a theme of heroes, and Sora wanted to be a hero in Skyland and all that. So that was a play on words. Wonderful Pretty Cure. The onomatopoeia for a dog barking in Japanese is wan. So that could say wan da hure purikua. Play on words there. And obviously this one, kimito, means you and I. And so they use that I to transition into idol. So it's you and idol Pretty Cure. It's just like another one that's a play on words. So I wonder if that's going to be a new theme going into this next set of seasons. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. It's just kind of weird that it's happened 3 years in a row now. I wonder if it's intentional. Something that I was curious about, I wrote down in my notes what other big thing is changed. By that I mean, in Hirogaru Sky, there was no super forms, and it was the first time they'd brought back a late season cure since, like, I think it was Sweet Pretty Cure with Muse, but they had a cure that debuted around episode 30-ish. So Hirogaru Sky had that late term cure debut, and then no super forms, and the last team to have no super forms was Doki Doki. So that was a big thing that was changed. And then Wanda Huru did bring back the super forms, but then had no mid-season cure or no additional cure, which the last time that happened was Smile in 2012. So those were two big things that I noticed, and a lot of other people noticed were changed. So I wonder what, if anything, what could be changed in Kimito Idol. My best guess, or just maybe me throwing shit at the wall and seeing what if it sticks. Maybe we could bring back another like non-cure named cure, by which I mean like someone like Shiny Luminous or Milky Rose, where they are technically cures, but they're not named as such. And I know that the reason they have those names is because back when that era of Pretty Cure was happening, the like who is or is not a cure, like that was like based on a different rule set than it is now. But maybe that could break. I don't know. I just wrote down what other big thing has changed because we had some big things changed in the last 2 years. If you look at the poop part of Precure, you can see that like the heart-shaped thing kind of looks like the love pre-brace from Happiness Charge. So maybe there's just a reference, or maybe there's the designers coming back, or maybe I don't know, the head musician or whoever's coming back. Maybe the writer. I don't know. I just kind of, it probably means nothing. Me and others noticed that it looked like that Happiness Charge thing. And the font used for the logo looks like a lot of the Aikatsu logos. Aikatsu being another, I think, child-centered show with an idol focus, kind of like the Pretty Series logos. And I guess speaking of the Pretty Series logo, I also thought the Kimito Idol logo looked like the Pretty Rhythm logo specifically. and also the Happiness Charge logo. It I don't think it was as prevalent, but I think there was some amount of an idol theme to Happiness Charge because you had the dancing at sub or no, not sub attacks, just the dancing themed attacks, and then they had a whole ass idol performance for one of their later attacks in the innocent form. So maybe there's that, but I just also think the overall font of Happiness Charge's logo looks like the font used in the Kimito Idol Precure logo. So maybe that could mean in the movie this year we could get a crossover with Happiness Charge, or maybe even Sweet, because, they were the other music season and this is now a music season, so maybe that could be a thing we end up getting. Who knows? Probably not, but well, moving on to some just general hopes I have for the season, not necessarily specifically related to themes or whatnot. The first thing I hope for the season is that the designs do not leak early again. I know a lot of people were happy with how early the wonderful designs leaked last year. And while part of me is happy about that because I love seeing the new designs, it was not fun in hindsight because I'm one of those people who likes to draw my own designs for the new Pretty Cure series based on the themes that I think will be happening, and just I look at the logo, theorize about it, and draw cures based upon what I want to see. And the designs leaking so early last year killed my interest because, like, what's the point if we already know what they look like? I didn't even get past the sketch. I got like maybe, well, that's a lie. I did get a little bit of the line art done, but never finished it because what's the point? And also, I think that also leaking early causes hype issues for Toei, but that's not something I know as much about. I just, it's also just more fun to see everything leaking all at once in January when the website updates. So we get the Cure designs, the staff, the voice actors, the everything all at once. There's just more excitement towards that. So I just really hope the designs don't leak early this year because it just kills the excitement. Another thing I really want the Cures to be singing in the transformation sequences again, because the only time we got that was in Star Twinkle, and that was not even remotely a music theme season. And yet that season has my favorite transformation sequences of the entire franchise because of the singing. And for an idol themed season, I think we should bring back the singing in the transformation sequences, because that would just be really cool. As well as, well, on the topic of songs, I guess, would like to see Machiko or Ami Ishii singing the opening sequence this year. I know Machiko didn't do a whole lot recently. I think she's probably trying to do her own thing now, but I would like to see it. I do love her songs. She did the Tropical Rouge and Delicious Party openings, and as well as some of the endings. But Ami Ishii is more of a newcomer, so I'd like to see her get more opportunities. I love her work last year in Hirogata Sky and this year in Wonderful. I know I saw Mayu Watanabe brought up by Leo. I would love to see her too, because she did one of the songs for the Mahotsukai movie. That was pretty cool. And I think she would have a really just good voice for it. And then with Midai Days coming up anyways, it could just be a weird coincidence. Though when I was looking into some of her information, I don't think it's very likely because it looks like she's retired from the entertainment industry. So unfortunately, I don't think it's very likely. Though I would like to, I guess it would be fun to see if it happened. For the ending songs, if I preferably, again, since it's an idol season and that would mean the Cures are singing a bunch, I would love to see this be the next season to have the Cures themselves singing the ending, because I think the last time we had that was Hugto, and that was 2018. I'm not good at math, but I would just like to see the Cure singing the endings themselves again. Though if we don't get that, because it's probably more expensive anyways, I would like to just see another duet, like we had in Tropical Rouge's second ending, in Hirogarism, the first ending for Hirogata Sky, and then both of Wonderful's endings. Those being duets between two singers just automatically elevate them in my list of favorites. So if we can't get the Cure singing the endings, I would like a duet between like Ami Ishii and Chihayo Yoshitake, or Ami Ishii and, God, I forget the name of who did the duet with Ami Ishii this year, but maybe they could do it again. I would just like a duet as well. Um, for character designer, I kind of said the same thing last year. I would like to see Yufu Kyoko, who did Delicious Party, return, or Miyamoto Emiko return, who did Mahotsukai. And since I mentioned Happiness Charge a bunch earlier, maybe Sato Masayuki, because he was the character designer for Happiness Charge. Maybe they could return. As for first time designers, again, I'd like to see Itaoka take the charge this time. He's done a lot of animation work for the franchise. He animated Kirinami's transformation this year, which is now at one of my absolute favorite transformation sequences for the entire franchise. He also did Cure Skies, he did Cure Precious's, he did Cure Summers, he did Cure Earths, he did Cure Milky's, he did a lot, is what I'm saying. He's done a lot of animation work. But I would like to see him get a chance to do the character designs, because I think he was said in an interview as well that that's the one thing he hasn't done yet, and he would love to do it himself. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea where that came from, but I want to see him do it because he's also just one of my favorite overall animators. For the fights this year, one, I hope they bring them back, because while I'm not nearly, or I don't like, I'm not upset by Wonderful not having fights, because obviously you don't want to teach kids that beating up animals when they're acting bad is a good thing. Whatever. I don't mind that the fights are not prevalent in Wonderful, but I want, the fights to come back would be fun. I just don't know how they would do it. Like, maybe they fight the bad guys and all their attacks are like small performances, kind of like that Idol performance Happiness Charge did. Or maybe it could be like Lolly Rock, which was, if you know, you know, it's another Magical Girl series. Maybe they could just fight the bad guys normally and then just have an unrelated performance at the end of a song. Maybe. Again, not very specific with that. I just kind of want the fights to come back to see how they would play into that with the Idol theme. And the last section I have for hopes would be voice actors. Again, like I said last year, my knowledge on female voice actors in Japan is like dog shit, because my knowledge of overall voice actors and actresses starts and ends with Attack on Titan. So I know nothing overall outside of male voice actors, but I know a lot of people would like to see some Aikatsu or Pretty Serious VAs voice the characters. I don't know any of them specifically, but I guess since I mentioned Attack on Titan, I guess I would like to see Manami Numakura, who voiced Peak, be a voice. When I was looking up stuff she's done, I did see that she had a role in something called Idolmaster, which I believe was some sort of game. I would also like to maybe see Shiori Mikami, who voiced Historia, or Ayane Sakura, who voiced Gabby. And when I was looking through her wiki, it does look like she specifically had a role in Pretty Rhythm Rainbow Live as a character named Rine. Again, I have no idea who that is, but that's what I saw on her wiki. Those would be 3 female voice actors I would love to see, just because they're characters I like in that show. And the last thing I want, or I would need, because I've been wanting it since 2019 when I first really got into Precure, I need Hiroshi Kamiya or Ono Daisuke to voice a villain. Or, God forbid, a male Cure, since that's a possibility now. But both of them would be so good as villains. It was said last year, it's been said again this year, it's so long overdue for them to be a part of this franchise. Like, I guess when I was looking it up, Ono Daisuke was Prince Zeke in the Happiness Charge movie, which, ironic given who kills Erwin in Attack on Titan, but whatever. I guess he had that role, but that was in 2014, so I guess it's been like 11 years at this point when Kimito Idol will have aired. But, like, Hiroshi Kamiya has never been in Pretty Cure at all. So I think it would be awesome for them to get a chance to be villains, because, villains have typically deeper voices, and their deep voices are fantastic. obviously, if you know them as Levi from Attack on Titan and Erwin from Attack on Titan. So those are my two favorite characters from that show, so I'm definitely biased, and obviously, well, not obviously, but if you know me, I ship those two characters very heavily. So, like, they're my favorite voice actors, so I need them to be in Pretty Cure. I might ascend to heaven and, like, die of just utter joy and elation if I get them as villains finally. And I've been hoping for it for every single year, and I've not gotten them yet. I would really, really, really love to see Hiroshi Kamiya and Ono Daisuke voice a villain. Maybe if we get both, I might actually die. But at least one of them, please. And again, God forbid we get them as a male cure, because apparently that's a possibility now after Wing. But Hiroshi Kamiya and Ono Daisuke, please, please, join the Pretty Cure franchise. I would love to see it. I would be the happiest human on Earth. But I think that about does it for this video. It's longer than I wanted it to be, but that's what happens apparently when I don't script things. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my discussions. If you would like to discuss your own thoughts, feel free to do so down in the comments below. I might leave a pinned comment if I think of anything else. You could also check me out on any of my social media, where I plan on discussing it further, of course, with the rest of the community. Any social media that's relevant will be linked in the description below if you'd like to check that out. Yeah, though that does it really for my thoughts and discussions on the new Pretty Cure logo, Kimito Idol Pretty Cure. I'm definitely looking forward to it, as I do every year, and we're definitely going to get some damn good music, so I'm very much looking forward to it. And I guess an important note before I do sign off, please do keep in mind that none of this, everything I've said in this video, none of it is confirmed except for, the name and the logo itself. But nothing about the amount of cures we're getting, or the music, or the character designer, none of that is for certain. It is just my speculation, my theories, my hopes and thoughts and wants. Nothing other than the logo itself and the name has been confirmed. So just keep that in mind so you don't get your hopes up. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't have anything else to say, so you guys have a good rest of your week and have fun. Don't die.